Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please hit that subscribe and like button. Today I'm going to be talking about how to make offers on vacant land, what to look for, how to come up with your maximum allowable offer, much more. I'm going to go through it step by step. Please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any more content. So anyways, let's get started. I'm going to go here and go to the Tampa market. This is one of the great markets that I'm in. And I'm just going to choose any property. If it does have a house on it, we'll just ignore the house because we're really just analyzing the land. Okay, so let's just pick, I don't know, this house right here, this property here. All right, so just pretend it doesn't have a house. All right, so Bob wants to sell his property on 803 West Peninsula Street in Tampa. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the lot size and the zoning. Okay, so it's R60 zoning, and the lot size is 7,800. After that, we're going to click comparable nearby listings. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm using PropStream. I will drop a link to a 7-day free trial in the description, so be on the lookout for that. But anyways, I'm going to click comparable nearby listings. So one of the things when you're analyzing land, you have to check first if there's any demand for new construction. Is there any new construction in the area? Because most of the time, the builders are going to be the ones that buy your land. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take off the square footage. Okay, and I'm going to go back 4 years. So I'm going to click 2017, and we have some new construction in this area, as you can see. Okay, there's 1, 2, and then there's one here on the river, which I really wouldn't consider this a comp because anything, this close or on the river, the numbers are going to be much different. I want to make sure I stay in a close radius. Okay, so anyways, let's take a look at this. So we have number 1 right here. All right, we're going to click this. Now keep in mind our lot size is 7,800 and our zoning is RS60. Make sure you get familiar with your zoning codes in your local county. All right, so let's go back here. Let's click on the details for number 1. All right, and I'm going to look at the lot size and the zoning for this as well, and then I'm going to look at the transaction history. Okay, so the lot size is 7,200. The zoning is RS50. So RS50 means the frontage of the lot has to be at least 50 feet wide per house. Okay, and R60 means the frontage has to be 60 feet wide per house. So let's click transaction history for this. And we can see that Dronic LLC actually bought this lot for $175. Okay. And then they looks like they sold it to this person, this person, this person. But anyways, they bought this lot for $175. And it's smaller, it's similar zoning. You could do a lot more with ours, but ours is a little bit bigger. Okay. So just by looking at this, so far my max offer is $165. Now keep in mind a lot of the zoning things, there's a lot that goes into this. A lot of things can be a rezone, which I'm not going to really cover in this video, but I'm just really looking at what are similar lots and they're selling for. Now keep in mind this isn't the only one. So just by looking at this, my max offer is $165. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's look at these right here, number 2 and 3. All right, let's click on details for this. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to look at the lot size, and we're going to look at the zoning and then the transaction history. Okay? So the lot size is 5,000. The zoning is RS50, the same zoning. I'm going to click mortgage transaction history, and I can see that Whitehall Development LLC bought this for $180. Okay? You see the difference? So this sold for $180. If I go back to this one, I click details. You always want to look at as much information as possible because the prices are going to, be very different, right? This one sold for $175. So if I want to make $10,000, my max offer is $165. Whereas this one sold for $180, my max offer is $170. Now keep in mind, I'm being very conservative with these. This one is smaller, even though it's the same zoning. Ours is a little bit more valuable, right? So let's look at this one right here, number 3, which is right next to it. We're going to click details on this one. You want to make sure you look at as much properties as possible because anytime you're getting into negotiations, who's going to give out the number first? How do you approach, the seller with the offer, which I'll cover in another video. This one is the same square footage, okay? The zoning is RS50, and they bought this for 125. Okay, so if I were to talk numbers, I know my max offer is 170. Homeowner keeps asking, what's your number? What's your number? I'm going to anchor price them at 125. Now, keep in mind, an anchor price is not your offer. An anchor price is simply to see what the reaction is out of somebody, okay? So that's basically it. You know, long story short, you want to look at the new construction, all right? Look at the lot square footage and zoning, and then click on the transaction history and see what that builder investor bought it for, okay? If there's not enough new construction in your area, there's not demand, another thing you can do is you can go to property class, all right? You can go to vacant land, and this is going to show some vacant land in your area, okay? Now, this is good for anchor pricing because no matter what kind of property it is, you want to find the lowest sold property. That way you have a starting point when it comes to negotiation. So for example, like this one's 102. All right. So if the homeowner's like, you called me with an offer, what's your offer? You can say, are you familiar with Woodrow Avenue? Yeah, what about it? This lot on 3112 North Woodrow Avenue sold for 102. And they might respond bad, but that's when you come along with, I'm not saying that's what I'm going to pay you. I'm just giving you facts in the neighborhood. So you do want to look at as much data as possible. You might find some that maybe sold a little bit higher. Another thing you can do in PropStream, you can filter the sold, price amount here, okay? And you can look at a little bit more. So number 2, number 3, these are cash, all right? So 3 is obviously the lowest one. Let's look at this one here on Braddock Street. I'm going to take a look at the numbers on this. Again, the lot size, square footage. So Domain Homes bought this. I know these guys pretty well. This lot size is 7,800. Our lot size is 7,800. This zoning is RS50. Our zoning is RS60. Okay? So ours is a little bit more valuable. You could do a little bit more with ours. But let's click the transaction history for this. It looks like Domain Homes actually bought this for $270. $270. This is a very desirable area. Okay? Very desirable area. So if this one's about the same size, similar zoning, our max offer could actually go up a lot higher, okay? Now, if you see an outlier like this, you do want to contact them and ask them what their exit strategy is if something looks a little off. But you want to be as conservative as possible, even though they bought that for $270, right? Your max offer, who knows, could be up to $260. Okay, you have to do your own research. You have to look a little bit more into it because this is a much different price point than everything else in the area. Okay, this area of Tampa Riverside Heights is a very hot area. There's a lot of demand for lots, a lot of new construction. It's right down the street from Armature Works, which is a lot of stuff going on here, shops and restaurants and everything, right off the Hillsborough River. So just make sure you analyze your market, look at the price points, look at the amount of new construction, lot square footage, zoning, mortgage transaction history, and then you can look at vacant land residential, the same process. So hopefully that helped. Stay tuned for more videos. Make sure you click that subscribe and like button. I will see you guys soon.